It's 9 o'clock on the 19th of May, and that can mean only one thing. Yes, it's the start of LogiSYM Asia Pacific 2021. So a very warm welcome from me, Bob Gill, member of the Organising Committee and General Manager, Southeast Asia ARC Advisory Group. So over the last 6 months, the Organising Committee have been working very hard to develop a program that fully reflects the theme of this year's event, which is shifting supply chains, transforming logistics from concept into reality. And I believe we certainly have a very exciting lineup of presentations and panel sessions and an absolutely stellar array of speakers over the next 2 days. So those topics will include things like sustainability, digital transformation, artificial intelligence, cold chain, which of course is a very hot topic these days with COVID-19, FTA and trade agreements, a whole array of topics that we'll be covering, hot topics that we'll be covering over the next 2 days. And speakers from companies like Seva Logistics, KPMG, Henkel, Semco Logistics, Tesla, SSI Schaefer, Honeywell, Schneider Electric. That's just a few of the companies that are represented here at LogiSYM Asia Pacific 2021. But right now, to tell us more about the event and particularly the background and the context in which it's taking place, I'm really delighted to welcome the President of the Logistics and Supply Chain Management Society and the Chairman of the LogiSYM 2021 Organising Committee, that's Dr. Raymon Krishnan, to give his address. So thank you very much, and Raymon, over to you.
Thanks, Bob. So, good morning, colleagues, fellow logisticians, and welcome to LogiSYM Asia Pacific 2021 and Cargo Now 2021. It's so strange doing these opening remarks online, but you know, it is what it is, and it's great to see so many people joining us from all over the world. As Bob said during the introduction, the theme this year is shifting supply chains, transforming logistics concepts into reality. So there's been a lot said and written about what we have all been experiencing this past year on the personal and work front. I lost my father, for example, exactly 1 year ago today, when we were at the height of the circuit breaker in Singapore. This was a very trying time with everything else that was going on. We have also seen quite a fair bit of churn, but also significant growth at LogiSYM and on the professional front. I'm sure mine and the experiences the team has had professionally and certainly personally are certainly not unique. But all of us have gone through and continue to go through some very challenging times. But from these challenges come opportunities as well, as I'm sure we'll all agree. So whilst many can pontificate and claim to be doing something different, for the logistician, the proof is in the pudding. If the information doesn't flow, the goods do not get shipped, or the warehouse is unable to perform, it very quickly becomes obvious that your supply chain isn't working and you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. So the title and theme this year, from concept into reality, is an apt one and certainly rings true to us. As always, it's been great to work with the team and other professionals in our industry in the lead up to the event. We've had a lot of false starts, a lot of challenges along the way, but it's great to have that core group. And it's always a pleasure to work with the new people that become part of the growing professional network that is LogiSYM. I'm sure many of you are disappointed, as I am, that we were not able to proceed with the hybrid event in Singapore Expo. Nothing beats that face-to-face interaction, informal chats at such events, and being able to look, touch, and feel an actual exhibit. But the organizers truly appreciate the effort you have all taken to carve some time out of your busy schedules to come and share, learn, discuss, debate, and network over the next 2 days, and for being part of the largest supply chain symposium in the world. The program, which you can view online, was firstly designed to share some of the latest trends and ideas around digitalization that we all read or hear about. And there are buzzwords and trends and hype that we come across every day. But secondly, and perhaps most importantly, where we can deliver the most value is when we explore in greater detail the why and how these concepts and ideas can deliver to improve success and overall supply chain performance during these times of the pandemic and as we hopefully emerge into a better normal. So from the agenda, you'll see that we have a number of presentations, panels, keynote speakers, and this year we have a lineup of more than 40 speakers from across the globe. We have participants who will be speaking from the US, with our partners from Europe, the Middle East, Dubai, Oman, Singapore, Malaysia, you name it. So, but I think we can all agree that Asia is where all the growth and opportunity are. And as a result of events on the global stage, opportunities abound, and we should, as logisticians, seize those opportunities and lead the charge. So we have thought leaders and industry experts from a very diverse range. And if you look at the agenda, we will be talking about many relevant topics in supply chain management. To kick us off at 9:30, our keynote from IDC will be talking about when the world changed. I think that's a pretty cool title because certainly what we've experienced in the last 12, 15 months is something that none of us have ever experienced ever. And I believe this will help set the backdrop for the next 2 days around why we should all pay attention and begin to continue on our digital journey or journey towards digitalization. For me, I get the most out of any event when I get to interact, discuss, and ask questions, as opposed to just sitting passively and listening to a boring speaker go on and on, like yours truly. So I encourage all of you to participate fully over the next days, using all the technology available through AMI. You can ask questions in the chat function. You can participate in polls, which we will have throughout the next 2 days. And also even be promoted to speak if you raise your hand to our live global audience. And I encourage all of you to take advantage of that. We all want to learn and share, so please don't hesitate to do that with everyone. A note of thanks. I would like to thank all the speakers and panelists for LogiSYM this year. Without you, this will not be possible. And all of you are true professionals, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for kindly agreeing to extend your valuable time over the next couple of days. Unlike a lot of other events, LogiSYM does not pay our speakers to actually come and speak. They're all professionals who value their time. And we get approached by many people offering to come on board the platform. But we work with a select few. The committee decides on how we want to structure the format, and what you see at the end of the day is the result of their work. So, but I applaud your willingness to come forward and contribute to the development of our profession. I would also like to thank all our sponsors. Yeah, and this year we have a fair few. To start off, our platinum sponsors, SSI Schaefer, Blue Yonder, One Network Enterprises, Blue Jay Solutions, Aspire NXT, and Samsung. And our gold sponsors, Siva Logistics, E2 Open, Getz, Keyfields, Samcorp, and Slimstock. And last but not least, our silver sponsors, BYD Forklifts, Fusion Nova Technologies, and EcoPack. What's great is to have more partners and sponsors this year, but it's also great to see so many of you continuing to support LogiSYM. Some of you have been with us since our start, when Bob and I started LogiSYM about 8 or 9 years ago with a very small core team. So thank you so much for your support. Without you, LogiSYM and the platform that we have around cargo now would not be possible. Special mention to the team working behind the scenes. I'm sure many of you would have interacted with Dan, with James, Meredith, Spencer and Gaius for handling all the technology requirements. Also, if it doesn't work over the next 2 days, they're the people that you want to blame, okay? But thanks to the team for all their work behind the scenes. I'd also like to thank Shirley Chan and our partners from Sphere and Singapore Expo. Again, it's a shame that we could not proceed with the live event, but the work Shirley and her team has done and everything else in the background, making sure that the exhibition goes live, making sure that we are able to reach such a wide audience has been done in no small part with special thanks to them. Some of you also know my colleague Hajid. Thanks Hajid for leading the charge on the commercial front. And Bob Gill, our MC for the next 2 days, Joe Lombardo Esquire, Sanjay Desai, Stephanie Krishnan, Marcus Kraft, Peter Raven, and all the other committee members who keep providing insight, guidance, and instructions on what needs to be done. I think some of you were actually online before we actually went live today, and you probably heard Bob and I chatting about what we were going to do throughout the rest of the day. So LogiSYM is very much a group and collaborative effort, with a lot of people working behind the scenes, volunteering their time, and a small team of dedicated professionals. And the backbone of LogiSYM without these volunteers would simply not be possible. I'd also like to thank Rachel Kelly and Money FM. Having a supply chain conference on air, I mean, how cool is that? Yeah. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that we would actually have a supply chain conference broadcast live over national radio. So thanks to Rachel for being part of that. And finally, I would like to thank all of you yet again for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend LogiSYM. I hope the event is all you want it to be and more. So thank you very much, and I'll hand you back to Bob.
Thank you, Raymon, for a great opening speech, as always, as to all LogiSYMs since 2014. We have our next session coming up, our keynote session coming up at 9:30 a.m. Until then, we really advise that Raymon mentioned a number of exhibitors that we have online, and you can visit those over in the exhibition area right now. And so if you just take a few minutes to do that, and we'll be ready for the next session at 9:30. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.